Hey everyone, thought I'd do a video, and today I'm going to be telling you what book series I need to finish. Keep the length of the video smaller because I have so many book series, it's like insane. To keep it sort of smaller, I am only going to be telling you guys what book series I need to finish that I have the complete series of. It's just easier that way, and since I have the complete series of them, I figure I should really give it to them to finish the actual series because, you know, it's sort of important you buy the whole series and you need to read the whole series, otherwise you're going to be like, well, then what did I buy it for? So I really need to finish these guys. I've already started all of these series that I am going to be sharing with you, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, so the first book series that I really need to finish is called Gods and Monsters series, I believe it's called, but the first book is called Darkness Becomes Her. There are 3 books in this series, and I have only read the first one. I tried reading the second one, but for some reason I just couldn't get into it at the time, so I went on to a different book, and I really need to finish this. There are 3 books in the series, like I said, and I need to read the last 2, and it's just 2 books. I really need to get into this because this book was so good. It was just so good, and I am surprised that it's taken me this long to read the last 2 books because I have them in my possession and I need to finish the series because I need to find out what happens because it's awesome. The next book series that I really need to finish is Chaos Walking Trilogy. This trilogy, guys, is amazing. It is really thick, which might be the reason why I am sort of like intimidated almost by this series, which is why maybe I haven't finished it yet. And also when I read each of these books, it's sort of slow going, like I really take my time with these kinds of books because like they're really big and they have like a lot of information. At least in my opinion, it's really awesome information, by the way. But I've read the first 2 books in the series, and I just need to read the last one, and then I complete the series, which is awesome. It's really good. Really need to find out what happens because it really left on a cliffhanger. Like, Patrick Ness really knows how to leave on a cliffhanger, okay, guys? And it's really good, and I really need to read the last book. The next book series that I really need to finish is the Divergent Trilogy. I have only read the first book, but I own all 3 of the books. If you guys have watched my birthday video of last year in November, you'll see that I got the trilogy for my birthday, and I figured that for this trilogy, what I wanted to do was I wanted to read all the books before the actual movie came out for this. And that didn't happen, unfortunately. I don't know, I just couldn't really get into the second book all that much. It was just sort of a problem. I didn't want to read it right away after I first read this, because I read this within like 4 days, and I felt like I really needed to have like I don't know, I felt like I needed more of it in my life, and I didn't want to just like race through it. I wanted to take my time and really get into this series. But I don't know, it's sort of hard to get into the second book. So the next book series I really need to finish is the Vampire Kisses series by Ellen Screiber. And really need to finish this, guys. There are 9 books in this series. For the majority of, like, this book right here is called Vampire Kisses the Beginning. It has the first 3 books in there, so you can imagine the little parts. Each book is fairly small. It's about 200, maybe even 300 at the most pages for each book. And it's just a really good book. It's really fast-paced, and it's about vampires, guys. I love vampires, okay? And I really need to get into the series more because there are 9 books in the series, and I want to finish it. Really want to finish it. It's a really good series. Really need to get into that. The next book series I really need to finish is from the Beautiful Creatures / Caster Chronicles series type thing. Alright, so there are 4 books in this series. I've only read the first one, and it's really hard to get into this. I've been trying to read the second book for like months and months and months, because last year in February, I believe, I started reading this book and I finished it, and it was really, really good. And I read it just in time for the movie when it first came out. Read it just in time, like a few days before. Like, I finished it a few days before the movie came out, and I was really excited about. And don't know why I haven't finished it yet. Maybe because it's a little bit intimidating. I put this in my Books That Intimidate Me video because it is really intimidating, because each of these books are like 500 pages each, and it was really hard to get through the first one. And considering there are 3 more books left of 500 page books, it's really, really intimidating me, which might be turning me off of reading it right away. But I really need to get into this series because it was really, really good. Next series I really need to finish is the 50 Shades Trilogy by E.L. James. Alright, so this trilogy, guys, is amazing. I read the first 2 books already, and I really, really need to read the last one. And these books range for about 500 pages each as well, which is, like I said, is intimidating to me. I don't know what it is, but with 500-page books, I just drag it out really long, I guess. But for like 200 to 300 page books, it's like really easy for me to get through. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the content of the book, or maybe it's just the number of pages, knowing the number of pages, that really gets me going. So, like, really intimidates me. So, yeah, I really need to finish this. It's really, really, really good. It's an adult book, one of the few adult books that I've tried, and I really love it. It's really, really good. Series I really need to finish is the Hunger Games trilogy. I am surprised that I have waited this long to finally finish the series. I've read the first 2 books already. I usually read them right before the movie is about to come out, but I feel like I really need to finish Mockingjay pretty soon, because I finally have Mockingjay. I actually got the paperback versions of the book, and there was no paperback version of the 3rd book for the longest time, but sometime this year, I forgot when, it was near the beginning of the year, I believe, but I finally got that, and I really, really need to finish it. I am so surprised that I have not finished it yet. I tried to get into it with an audiobook, so that I could finish it, but I don't know, there was just something there, and I felt like I really needed to read a different book, I guess. So that's how that played out, which is why I haven't read it yet, and that's just an excuse. I know that. But I really need to finish this, guys. And the final series that I really, really need to finish is called the Wicked Lovely series. There are 5 books in this series, and I have read the first 3. I sort of forget a little bit of what happened, so I have to reread the series. I've already reread the first book, but I need to reread the next 2 books, and then read the last 2 books, and then finish the whole series, because this series is amazing. It's one of the few fairy series that I sort of got into, and it's like all fairies. It's the first all fairy series that I have come to love, so I really, really need to get into it and finish it. For the longest time, I wasn't finishing it because I really wanted to, like, spread out my love for it, I guess you could say. Like, I really wanted to enjoy it while it was still there, because this is like my first all fairy series. So that's sort of why I haven't read the full series yet, but now I really, really feel like I should finish the series, because I remember how good it was. I remember so much, and I think I need a little bit of nostalgia. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. So, bye.